Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Anthony Hennen, a reporter in Pennsylvania for the Center Square. Joining me today is the Center Square's editor in Pennsylvania, Christen Smith. So you wrote a story today. What are the latest developments here about the train derailment near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border?
So Pennsylvania became the first state where lawmakers actually subpoenaed Norfolk Southern after the derailment, which happened about a month ago now at this point. A Senate Committee for Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness agreed to invoke subpoena powers to compel Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw to appear before them and testify. Notably, he was invited to a hearing that the same committee had the week before that we spoke about, where residents were testifying about all their adverse health effects they've been experiencing, and local and state officials were talking about how Norfolk Southern really shut them out of the emergency response process. So this week, they came back, the committee as promised, and issued the subpoena. Now, it was widely supported, both Republicans and Democrats, but that doesn't mean that everyone felt really confident about the action itself. Senator Maria Collette, she said, who is a Democrat, she said that she felt that this subpoena was symbolic only. And that would be because while it does try to compel Shaw to testify, only in the cover letter of the subpoena does the committee ask for pertinent documents and communications regarding what Norfolk Southern planned to do and how they plan to do it once the train derailed. And so without those documents and communications, many senators on the committee felt like they weren't going to get a full picture of what went down. And more importantly, as Senator Katie Muth, who is actually the Democratic chair of the committee, she said that we can try our hardest to get him to come, but Norfolk Southern has, a firewall of lawyers that would likely, instruct Shaw not to even show up, or if he did, plead the fifth. So what is the hope for meaningful opportunity? Republican Chairman Doug Mastriano argued that while, yes, he agrees that they should issue further subpoenas for these documents, that he believed that this was an important first step, that Pennsylvania deserves to hear from Shaw. And even if he tries to come and plead the fifth, or even if he uses legal reasons to not even show up, we deserve to know that too.
Okay, so it's looking like we might get Shaw, we might not. But is there much hope here that we'll actually get some useful documents here? Or does this feel more like a stern letter and we might receive a response that's basically boilerplate PR?
I think at least with this subpoena, we're going to get boilerplate PR or a legal response that really amounts to nothing. I think that point was pretty well made and shared by Republicans and Democrats on the committee. In fact, Senator Bartolotta, who represents a district out near where the train derailed and has residents affected by this disaster, she said that, sure, it could, shake the tree at Norfolk Southern and loosen some tongues and, maybe compel some people to show up here and talk to lawmakers, but she was really doubtful. She felt like the better option would be to subpoena for documents and wait however long it takes. And so I think we're going to see both scenarios unfold. The description of the subpoena as being symbolic is probably apt in the sense that all it really compels him to do is show up, and he's got plenty of legal reasons not to.
Got it. Well, listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. For Christen Smith, this is Anthony Hennen. Please subscribe, and thanks for listening.
Freedom and liberty are important to all of us. If you're looking for civil, intellectual conversations with those shaping the future of freedom, try the Future of Freedom podcast with me, Scott Bertram. We speak with leaders across the country in the greater conservative and libertarian movements. In-depth conversations about where the next intellectual battles will happen across the country. It's the Future of Freedom podcast. Find it at americastalking.com or wherever you get your podcasts.